Thank you for tuning in to the Afternoon Pint Podcast. Our show will start right after these messages from our sponsors.
Hey, Matt. We're thinking of selling our home and finding a bigger place.
Oh, really? I thought you guys loved where you lived.
Oh, we do. Our family is just growing. With pets. A dog, a cat, 2 guinea pigs, a hamster.
And you're planning on getting more?
Maybe a goat or a crocodile.
Well, I have the person for you. Kim Kardashian is an experienced real estate agent who prides herself in finding the perfect home for her clients.
We're just browsing now. I'm not sure if we really need a realtor yet.
Yeah, no worries. Kimmy can help you with the comparative market analysis to help you determine the value of your home if you're planning on selling, or help you determine the going rate for the neighborhood you're moving into. She can also work at your pace.
Awesome. All right, I'll give her a shot. What's her phone number?
On Facebook, Kimmy Kardashian, Exit Realty Metro. Her phone number is 902-880-8429, and her email is kimia@exitmetro.ca.
902-880-8429. Awesome. Thanks.
This podcast was brought to you by Dan Lomas. That's LOMAS of lomasfinancial.ca.
Are you a small business owner who wants to keep more of your hard-earned profits and pay less taxes to the CRA? Do you want to plan for a comfortable and secure retirement? If your answer is yes, then you need to talk to Dan Lomas at Lomas Financial.
Dan Lomas is a financial advisor who has been helping successful entrepreneurs and business owners for over 2.5 decades. He utilizes customized solutions that can help you keep your earnings, dramatically reducing passive income tax.
Dan Lomas and his team will help you transition corporate wealth into personal wealth by utilizing customized executive pension plans. Dan will show you how to convert business wealth into personal wealth in a professional manner.
Don't let the CRA take more money than they deserve. Don't let your retirement dreams fade away. Contact Dan Lomas today and let him guide you on your path to financial success.
Visit Dan Lomas at lomasfinancial.ca or call him direct at 902-209-0855. That's 902-209-0855.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Welcome to the Afternoon Pint. I'm Mike Tobin.
I am Matt Conrad.
And who do we have with us today?
And I am Bayleigh Pelham.
Bayleigh Pelham.
That name sounds familiar.
Sounds like famous or something. Are you famous?
I was thinking it sounds kind of like Herring Cove-ish, but you know.
Herring Cove? Okay.
I'm Herring Cove
specific.
famous, I guess. I'll
Herring
take
Cove
that.
famous. There you go. Yeah. So what are you here for?
Well, I'm here visiting home. This is where I'm from. I came home to host a Pride event this week.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, because there was a few going on this weekend. That's right.
Yeah, it's Pride Week. So I got asked to come out here, and it wasn't a hard ask for me to have an excuse to come home.
Awesome.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just visiting friends and family, and you know, I haven't been home since the show. So
The show. And the show we should announce is the most recent Big Brother Canada. You're the winner for the Big Brother Canada 2024.
yes,
Amazing.
yes, thank you.
You know, it's so funny because like we were talking about this. I've never really watched a Big Brother. He's never really watched a Big Brother. That being said,
Our partners have.
Yeah.
Well,
both
of them.
My wife loves all of that
Yeah.
stuff. But I know a guy who's been like, it's so funny because you would never know that of him to meet him. But I know a guy who's I don't know, maybe he's done now, but 7-8 years in a row he tried
Oh yeah.
to get on and never did. And he was like a goal of his.
Oh.
And I've never watched it except for one time when I was in Ireland, like in 2008. I was over there for a whole month, and they have this whole channel dedicated to Big Brother in the UK.
Oh yeah.
And you can go in there and watch live feeds and everything. And I was like, well, whatever. I turn it on. I remember one time I woke up and I was watching it, like falling asleep because I was like, what is this? I didn't really know what it was back then. And then I fell asleep, woke up, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and like 2 contestants were just going at it in the bed. And
Big Brother
and it was
UK
like,
is crazy.
oh, it's crazy.
Canada's a lot tamer, right?
Completely
Oh
uncensored.
yeah.
Yeah?
They took out the live feeds the last few years, but even still, I don't think people were doing all that. But yeah,
Right.
no, the UK one I heard. I haven't watched it, but
Yeah.
they're just a little more free over there.
So what season of Big Brother Canada is this?
This season 12.
Season 12. Wow.
Season 12, and I auditioned almost every single year.
Wow. So
Yeah.
day one.
So
you
even
were
from day
in it.
one.
Yeah.
From day one, I was
okay.
downtown Halifax.
Yeah.
That's when they did in person.
Right on.
I was like 24 because it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they would do it an in person thing. I got a call back, didn't get on. So I boycotted it. I was like, I'm not watching it if I'm not getting on. So every year I did that. And when I didn't get on, I just never watched it.
Smart.
Okay.
And then season 11, I was pretty much on. Like they flew me out there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was in like the hotel in the holding. And then last minute they cut me because unbeknownst to me, my ex-boyfriend was also there. And they chose him over me, and he won season 11.
Oh, why didn't they just...
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just throw you in together? That's good TV.
That's what I said.
That's crazy.
But
That would have been better TV.
I know.
You imagine you just got trapped in with your ex for like...
I mean, that being said,
Lord.
though, like you won. Like so,
Exactly,
in the
so-
end, you won in two ways.
So he won the
Exactly.
previous season.
He won the previous season.
Where's he
and
from?
He's from Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was living in Halifax at the time. So they didn't put that together that we would know each other.
Right.
They do all of that. They check to make sure. And then once we were in the sequester, they must have found out that we knew each other. I didn't know why I was getting axed.
Wow.
When they announced the cast, I saw, and then I put it together. So
Oh my God.
had that not happened though, like I then traveled by myself. I was really just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I met my now girlfriend while I was away, and I was like, okay, it all happens for a reason. And then they called me back for the next season, and I won it. So
Amazing.
it all
So
worked out.
What's like the cash prize, or is it a cash prize, right?
Cash prize, it's usually $100,000,
Yeah.
which it was also this year, but they threw in a lot more this year.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of sponsors that donated, which also kind of turns into cash.
Yeah, right.
A 2024 Infiniti car.
Oh, there you go.
Sweet.
Nice.
And a trip.
Nice.
Oh, where's the trip to?
The trip was to Cuba,
Yeah.
Okay.
but it's like $10,000 to Cuba, so you can really
Okay,
go
you
at
can
it.
kind
But
of design your.
yeah, but I'm giving that to my family and my sister and her kids, and
that's
they
cool.
need the vacation. I might tag along, but we'll see.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you know what? Like, Canadian winnings. Like we talked about this with Ben, who's also a local guy. Canadian winnings are tax free,
baby.
So what's going on in the Cove? We got all these winners of reality shows.
I don't know what's in the well water out there. I don't know. Ben and I like grew up together. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, really? You guys are like the same
Yeah.
age. Yeah.
He's a handsome devil.
Yeah. he is.
Yeah, we go way back, so it's nice that I don't know what's happening down here.
I don't know. Yeah, I hopefully like this podcast kind of takes off as well and everything.
There you go.
Yeah, and then maybe I can be included.
And then
in
you
this.
can come into the winner's circle.
Yeah, we got
just
like
wanna get on
we
Big
got like
Brother and try to win that.
well, I was gonna say we got like Sidney Crosby, Nate McKinnon. I can be like, I don't know, the Brad Marchand or something like that.
I think I'm
the
far too.
uglier, like somewhat famous guy from the same area.
I think I'm far too surly for Big Brother. They'd just catch me. I'd just look terrible. Like I'd
Well,
come off like a real mean son of a bitch.
They canceled it now. As soon as
show's canceled?
Yes.
No way.
Yes. This is new news.
Oh,
They recently announced that the network dropped it from their programming. So unless another network picks it up, it is
Just
no
Canadian?
more. Just Canadian.
They should just Netflix will probably
so you
pick it up.
will
I'm
be
hoping
the
something-
undisputed like final winner.
Yeah. Which I'll take it, but I'm sad because so many people, like you said, your friend has been trying out.
yeah.
So many people, it's their dream. And like, I was kind of hoping to make another appearance or go back for something.
I'm sad for Canada though. Like 'cause
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's good to have Canadian versions of the reality
Yes.
shows. Every country does it, right?
And, it's the better version, I will tell you, because I started watching it once I knew I was going to get on. Yeah. And the production, like, it's so much better than the U.S. No offense, but it is. Like when you watch it, and especially
it's your
this
home
season.
country though too, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really the thing. It's for Canadians.
Yeah.
And the same as the Canadian America's Got Talent, Canada's Got Talent.
Yeah, yeah.
And, all around the world.
But I
Yeah.
think like, and this is probably something we can like, you probably feel is like, when you have these people across the country that you live in, like the people in your area, like kind of ride with
yeah.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
Right?
Have
Yeah.
regional representation.
For sure.
In these shows, yeah.
And there was two of us from Halifax.
Who's the other one?
Donna Marshall.
Okay, where was she from? Do you
She's
know?
from here. She's
Okay.
from Hubbard's.
Hubbard's, okay.
But she lives in Halifax.
Cool.
And then we had Todd from Happy Valley Goose Bay, Labrador.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right
yes.
on.
Yeah, so they're like, they're like Todd, he won Canada's favorite because smaller towns just really support, and he's also the best. But East
they're
Coasters
endearing.
are a different breed as well.
That's
Yeah.
true.
The
Yeah,
fans.
yeah.
Mhm.
You got a little bit famous there even before you won with your Sambro comment, calling someone a Sambronian or whatever.
Oh
right?
yeah, that was on like the feeds or something.
Sorry, go back. What happened?
Nobody else in the country would get this, but like it was just
There was like a clip
Go
or
ahead.
something, right?
Yes.
So they don't do live feeds, but they put out these. They're called dailies. It's like hours of footage, and I think I said something about Todd sounded like he was from Sambro or something, but no one would really know what that means except for
Newfoundland Todd.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay,
his
got it,
accent.
yeah.
Or maybe it was Donna. I can't remember. They both have like pretty thick East Coast accent. Like you really remind me of like Sambro. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
that's not
'cause
a
it was
diss.
something because she said like, do you know Sambro? Like I remember seeing the clip,
yeah.
like, do you know Sambro? And
That
then
must
I
have
was
been.
like,
It
wow.
must have
That's
been
a compliment.
Donna.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly. And then we made the
Newfoundland.
connection, like
Yeah,
how
100%.
we knew the same people, and it's
Yeah.
And even when I come home, I can hear it. I can hear my accent coming in thicker.
It's funny about accents. Like I used to think I had no accent, and then you go to like
Oh, yeah, you
Ontario.
Oh, you definitely do.
Oh no, I know I do. And then
so do I.
You
do.
Yeah, but you go to Ontario. I remember the first time someone like it was like overwhelming with work. I was sent to head office, and they were just like, "Oh, I love your accent." And I was like, "What accent are you talking about? I sound like you." And they're, "No, you
know.
don't. No, you don't."
I think it's so charming. I miss it all the time. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And how do you find the dialect in Toronto? Is it hard to emulate, or do you kind of catch on to
No, like when I first moved to Toronto, I went to pursue acting, and I had to try and like correct my out and abouts. Like I had to try and correct my language. So I've adapted it. I don't really notice them having an accent at all. But when I come home, it comes on so quick, and I'll go back, and then I'll hear it.
It's like a switch.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's alcohol. If I have too many of these,
comes back out
the
again.
voice just starts changing. Yeah.
So you went out there for acting. Like, are you still kind of really heavily pursuing that? Or
Yeah, like I am for sure. It's definitely a passion of mine.
Yeah.
And Big Brother was always another passion. I'm like, well, if I get on a TV show, I'll do reality. Like that's even better for me because I don't have to act like anything. But yes,
Fair enough,
acting
yeah.
is still definitely a dream, and it's always going to be my passion. So I'm still pursuing that.
Are you doing some commercials right now or something? You just came from an ad, you said.
Yeah, I'm doing some ads, some brand deals. You know, there's some stuff that came out of this that's really fun and positive. And I've done commercials and things in the past. Like I love doing stuff like that. So yeah, I'll continue.
And are you like some sort of, I sound like a 90-year-old man when I say this, like an influencer now? Like,
I
you did sound
I don't know, maybe not yet. I don't have like a million followers or people, but yes, I love doing content creation. If people are influenced by me, that'd be great, but we'll see.
Here's a question for you. This is just a weird question out of like left field because I know a little bit about the theater and acting and stuff, but I don't know much about being an influencer, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you think those two worlds like are transition from one to another? Like if someone becomes a big influencer, then that's going to help them get an acting role, or would maybe prevent it? Because that would be my
also a good
concern. It's
question.
like
I think maybe the opposite. I think that if you have some background in acting and theater, that your confidence, you might have, you might be more comfortable in front of the camera, talking.
For sure.
But I find that influencers, for the most part, are very much like behind their own screen. So they're not really interacting with crowds or, live like theater. I don't know if it really translates, but a lot of people that make content are like doing it by themselves. They're not doing it, they're not reading a script. They're not doing it in front of crowds. So it's a little bit different, but it's one and the same. I mean, you're in the performing arts, I suppose.
you could kind of, like I think if you
But
try
I think
hard
it's a
enough-
valid question though, because at some point, like if you're like an influencer, I could see like maybe it could be a negative thing, and sometimes depending.
Yeah.
But it depends though. Like it's just kind of like hip hop, like rap artists that come out and be actors 20 years later into their career, right? Like they recognized face, established brand, and then all of a sudden, 50 Cent's playing a cop,
Right.
Right? And you're like, what's going
Ice
on
Cube's
here?
doing
Well, I
daddy
think-
daycare.
Ice Cube, that kid.
Well, it's like they're artists, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a musician or you're an actor, like you're an artist. And I
Right.
find, influencers or reality people aren't really
Recognized
toning
art.
into arts. And sometimes they don't get taken as seriously. Like Kim Kardashian started acting and people are kind of like, well, like, are you talented or are you just famous?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not my opinion.
She's a tough example.
No. But that's a
No,
good
no
example.
disrespect to Kim
no,
Kardashian. This is
no.
just where she's so like huge.
She's known for one thing that when you try and dip your toe in something else, it's so unrelated. It's hard to like get your foot in the door a little bit. I think.
Or you're
So
so recognized, it's hard for people to see you as playing a character.
Exactly.
That being said, though, I think once you're like famous or you're like, because in the end, whether it's artistic or not, everything's a business. So if someone thinks that you can sell something for them, whether it be a movie or a couch or whatever, they'll want you in that. And like, so when you get famous to the point where it seems like people who have become uber famous for one particular thing. All they have to do is go, I would really like to have a makeup deal.
Oh, yeah.
I would really like to have a t-shirt deal. And someone's going to go, ooh,
Right.
you know, I want to give you that.
Exactly. It's exactly what influencers do. Once you get enough notice, then you can sell pretty much anything. If people like you, they'll buy what you're selling.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just marketing yourself
Yeah.
and creating a brand within a brand.
Exactly.
Almost. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
Which is cool. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think I'd make a good influencer.
You're like me. You're too ugly. No, but honestly, that also goes kind of back. Like, I think if I was ever to do anything like that, it would be more like a tourism type of influencer.
Right.
Not because I just want to like go on trips. I do, but I'm always genuinely curious about food and drink,
Right.
and
Yeah.
exploring and really experiencing culture.
Right.
So when I don't watch a whole lot of reality shows, but when I do, they're generally cooking shows.
Yep.
Or they're like those like travel. Like I love Everybody to Feed Phil. I'm just gonna say that. Like Everybody Feed or
That's a fun
somebody
show.
Feed Phil or somebody Feed Phil.
Do you know that show?
No.
Fantastic. It's
just
the
a
guy
really
who
fun-
wrote
yeah.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, I love that show.
Right? So he's the creator of that show, like the producer behind it and everything. And it's based off of his life, right?
Oh.
And so instead of Everybody Loves Raymond, it's Somebody Feed Phil. And he travels the world, like experiencing cultures and going to like find really good like food.
Oh my God, that would be my dream.
It's on Netflix. It's the coolest.
Like I want that to
yeah.
be my job.
Seriously, I would love that to be like, afternoon pint would be like, we could do it for beer.
Now, see, that's something I could do. As long as there's beer and food involved, I'd do it.
Well, see, that you guys already did it. You decided you want to drink beer and talk, and now you're making a career.
That
out of
reminds
it.
me, we're at Station 6 in
That's right.
Stratford, if you're still listening.
We should say that, yeah.
And
yeah.
we just had a delicious poutine before we did this
Yeah, you had poutine.
You did.
afternoon show.
As did I.
Yeah, she went to Willie's.
You
which
went to
was good.
Willie's, another great spot in Halifax.
Great place for Halifax for a poutine. Yours looked really good. I had
delicious.
wings. The chicken wings here are top
Unreal.
notch. Yeah.
And we're
So,
drinking Propeller beers. ESBs. You
We
picked
have
them up?
ESBs. Yeah, extra special
I'm
bitters.
drinking the Island Folk Cider.
Yeah, Island Folk Cider from Cape Breton.
Nice.
Jeez,
which
when
is
in Rome,
really
right?
We always plug the beer in this show, and then we forget a lot.
So it's good to kind
There
of
you go.
circle back
Shout out to
it.
Propeller.
Yeah, shout out to Propeller and Island Folk.
Hashtag influencers.
Exactly. Yeah. So obviously, like back to like Big Brother and everything, like this must be a bit of a whirlwind because you went from trying out to getting on here, and now like I don't know, is it weird to like he came in here and he was like I love you, big fan. Like, is it weird to go from like nobody really knows me to now like everybody knows me? And,
No, I love it. And like even before Big Brother, I was very present on social media and like not that I would get recognized at all, but I'm very social and like some people would know me from TikTok or Instagram, like whatever. So I personally love this.
Yeah.
Like I love attention. So when people recognize me and they feel awkward to talk to me or take a picture, like I encourage it. It doesn't happen I'm not famous, but when you're in Halifax,
that's good.
it's
That's
nice.
what you want to do with yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be that person.
Well, it's nice to be recognized for doing something that was very true to myself. Like
Right.
it wasn't like I went on a show that I was acting on. I was just being myself. So when I encounter a fan,
Did you have any haters in this show?
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm sure I did.
And how
But
like
I didn't.
were they
I
on
didn't
the
know.
socials? Like, did you
Yeah.
see like haters saying?
Yep. Oh yeah.
mean
People
shit?
didn't like me at the beginning.
Right.
Because my East Coast side came out. Someone made me mad. I was screaming at them. They didn't like the way I handled myself. Or, people just thought I was a bit loud and opinionated, which I am. And then towards the end, and I don't know what's happening when you're inside the house. You have no contact with the outside world. So I didn't know if I had fans or haters or if anyone even knew who I was.
Right.
That must be so bizarre to come out and then
God.
like if like. I mean, two questions, I guess. It must be weird to see all that and like get overwhelmed with all of that. And then two, like, I don't know, what do you do to cut out like the like real horrible things that are probably said about you?
I
'Cause
mean,
no matter how good you are, people say horrible
Exactly.
things about you.
Well, exactly. I think I got really lucky because towards the end of the game, people started to kind of root for me a little bit. I was a bit of an underdog and then I won. So I got a lot of positive feedback. I was all about the girls. So I got a lot of female fans and stuff. So I got lucky. There's like, one shitty comment in a sea of great comments. So it's easier for me to tune things out. And I also don't have many regrets because I won. However, you got to stay true to who you are, stay grounded, surround yourself with your people, because it can be very consuming to have this much attention, whether it's positive or negative. You can get pulled into that. Even if you're only getting positive reinforcement, then you start getting, full of yourself or get this ego on you. Like, you really have to try and remember who you really are, whether you're getting negative or positive.
Yeah, I just found a show like this could just open up to so much bullying, like without intention, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's people saying negative shit because you're now in a fishbowl.
Exactly.
Right?
And Big Brother fans especially have a lot of opinions. Yeah. So there was other people that were on the show that got a lot of hate, and it's disappointing, but it's what comes with the culture of being on reality TV. But again, you just have to, you're only doing the best you can with what you got. So
now, what about the Netflix shows? Would you like to get on any of those? Have you ever thought of like trying to apply for, what's the one you like, Matt? There's one show you like.
What do you like?
The Mole.
Okay, yeah.
Andrea was watching that. I couldn't really, I watched one episode. It was good,
I like two. There's only two reality, like those types of reality shows that I like. I like The Mole and The Circle.
The Circle.
Okay, so The Circle, a lot of people were talking about that.
I do like
that. I'd be good on that, or I should watch it.
No, you'd be really good.
Because it's like social media.
It
right?
is
very social media.
So
you know better.
The social media aspect to it is like basically like you create a Facebook profile.
You could like catfish people,
but you can also catfish. So it can be fake. It can be whatever, right? Like you could go on there as your brother if you wanted to, right? Or you can go on as yourself.
Okay.
But then it was like it was one of those things where you could go on and just be yourself and whatever, and it's all about trying to get people to like you and stuff. The only thing I don't like about that show is that there are guys and gals on there that like play a perfect game, and you're like, man, they're good, they're likable, they're winning. Like they seem to like form an alliance with everybody just because everyone likes them. They are gonna win, and at the very end, everyone goes, we all know they're the most popular, so I'm going to vote them the lowest.
Yeah,
and they bomb them.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of like, well, that was like he should have clearly won.
Yeah,
like, there was one season I was thinking of, so I'm starting to get a little bit just like. I don't know. That show's
That's a huge show, though.
But
that'd be a fun one to be on, though. I think
The Mole is one I would actually I would go on.
But there are people that bounce around different realities.
Yeah,
that's becoming a thing. The Netflix universe.
Yeah,
and that's why I said it, right?
So many Amazing Race, The Traders Canada. There's a lot of people that because a lot of them have the same producers and things like that. So. And then you tune in more. So I know that person from this show. I want to watch them on this show. So
and you go in there with that attitude. I won this show, and I'm here to win this one.
Exactly.
So that's a fun way to start.
Yeah.
There you go. I think
makes a good nemesis.
Put her and Ben against. They put a reality show. She and Ben go against head to head on something.
Oh yeah, I heard tough as nails.
Tough as nails. I would love to do something more physical, like Big Brother. There's
a little physical stuff.
There's a little bit.
How many days were you in that house?
I was in the house for 70 days.
Oh my Jesus!
And 70. Then 2 weeks in the sequester.
How did you feel mentally? Like, did you go through a point where you were just like, I can't fucking do this, like in your head?
No, the closer you get to the end, the more you're like, hey, I don't want to leave. Like, I need to make it to the end. The beginning was the hardest, I think, just knowing how long you would have to be in here to win.
Yeah.
You do. Luckily we don't really get to have any contact, because if I had a little bit of contact from home, I would probably want to leave more.
Right.
Yeah.
You just kind of tune it out. Mm-hmm. And after, you do have a little sequester period, so you're by yourself. Yeah. And once you get into the house, you're so excited to see other human beings that, you're just grateful to be around them, and you get really attached to them. So it definitely took a mental toll. I'm in therapy over it, because it does it's kind of like you go to jail, or you go in the military for
you're isolated. You're completely isolated.
Completely. You miss 3 months. And I have a partner, and so it's really weird to come back and be like, we haven't seen or spoken, not even
3 months,
a good night.
Is she understanding as far as it goes?
Yeah. So understanding. But it's hard for her too, because she got to watch me.
Yeah.
And I was thinking maybe from her perspective it would be easier, but it's not, because she's seeing me go through all these things and she can't do anything about it.
And on top of that, there's editing that she doesn't really know what's going on.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're made to look as, they want you to be perceived, right?
Yeah.
Even in that moment. So those first few episodes, you say, well, wow, that girl's a firecracker. I'm sure that's
exactly.
what they say.
Exactly.
A firecracker, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He watched the
cracking
bio. He
myself
watched the bio.
I watched the bio and I watched like the end. I watched you at the end,
Okay.
like with the other people
Yeah.
on the interview.
You saw the speeches?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they probably thought, at first this person's extremely aggressive. It
Yes.
takes them a while to learn your humanity. But
Yeah.
it's also, that's editing, right?
Oh, yeah.
I could
100%.
make you sound like a monster even with this podcast
Yeah.
if I truly wanted
It's
to.
true. And like,
right?
you don't know
Yeah.
when you're on there, like they could be taking little clips because you're in there 24 hours a day and they have to make a show that is an hour.
Right.
It was on 3 days a week, but it's still, you don't know what footage they're going to take to edit you a certain way. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I got a pretty good edit by the end of it, but definitely at the
You got
beginning.
paid, so that's the main thing.
Well, yeah, but that's another thing too. Like, so you're gone for 3 months. So, I mean, realistically, like, do they pay you for that?
They do. You get a stipend. You get
Yeah.
a little bit each day you're there.
Right.
But people were definitely losing money being there. It's hard. Like I was, personal training and bartending, so it was easy for me to say, "Yeah, I'll go on."
Right.
But some people had to leave their jobs.
Big career.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah,
wondering. You'd have to take a time off,
have to
like
take-
whatever, leave of absence,
And
whatever.
you're not supposed to tell anyone where you're going.
Right.
So it's like you got to take off maybe 1 week to 3 months. You don't know when you're going to get kicked off.
Not easy for an employer.
No,
that's
yeah,
tough.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's tough.
I know a few people on the show, they're losing money being on there, but it's such an amazing opportunity. So it's worth it.
I think that's the thing is like you hope. I mean, you hope that when you come out of this thing, that you gain something from it, right? Whether even if you didn't win, like if you make it in the top 5, it's the same thing with all these like Circle and these other these Netflix universe people.
It's exposure.
It's exposure, and now they all hang out together, and now they're like whatever. They're all some form of influencers or whatever. They all have like 500K people following them, right?
Yeah.
Just for being on the show.
Yeah.
And nothing more is just going to get a producer to mention you because they're like, okay, this person's done this before. They know their stuff, and it kind of puts you on top of the pile, right?
And some people, like there's so many people that were on Big Brother Canada that didn't win, but they're so popular now because of just, who they were and the following they got from that and where they took their careers after that.
Yeah.
If you have a little bit of a platform, you can really do whatever you want. So
Are you bartending now, or are you done with it?
I'm not. I
No?
took the summer off.
Okay.
There's a lot
Just
of
won a bunch of money. She doesn't do anything.
yeah, but like it's gonna go real fast.
Yeah.
It already has been. I had a lot of debt to pay off, and credit cards to pay off and stuff. But I'm traveling a lot. I wanted to take the summer off just to figure out what I want to do next.
Yep.
I'm 34 now. I don't really want to go back to bartending if I don't have to. So
Right.
Fair enough.
yeah.
I want to get into it, and I'm 40, so that's not.
There's no other
little
money
backwards.
like it. That's why people
It
do
is
it for
good
so
money,
long.
man, and it's good tips.
And you don't have to, like, sometimes you don't, I didn't go to work till like 10 o'clock at night. So I have my whole day.
Right.
I can do whatever I want. I can have other jobs. So
You can have a life in
Exactly,
the daytime, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to sleep at some point.
yeah, well, it starts to get, when we get older,
Yeah,
going to
you
bed
wake
at
up
4 a.m.
10.
isn't
yeah,
that
at
fun.
4 a.m. It's not so bad.
That was fine when I was 19, 20,
Yeah,
21.
when you
all
got
that
kids.
stuff.
And
I just watched that movie Insomnia. It's old with Robin Williams.
Yeah, of course.
It's on Netflix, right?
Just watched it with Andrea.
I just watched that too.
It is about daylight and not sleeping. Man, they do a good job in that movie, like portraying what it's like to have to
lose
sleep in the
sleep.
day and lose sleep and lose your
Yeah.
friggin' mind.
Yeah.
It's a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
And I never knew that. Like, because I saw like pretty much all that guy's movies because he's super popular.
Yeah.
And that's one of his first movies.
Really?
He did that right after that one where everything's backwards, Memento. Have you ever
Oh,
seen
yeah,
that?
Memento, yeah.
I did not see that
Memento's also fantastic. So
Okay.
it's like he wakes up. This guy wakes up every morning and he forgets absolutely everything, but he's tattooed his body, got pictures and stuff. So he tries to piece himself together. It's really good.
It's a real dark Groundhog Day.
Totally is.
Christopher Nolan watched that and was like, could be dark.
Yeah, it's a better Bill Murray movie.
Exactly, yeah.
With no Bill Murray. That's funny.
So
Yeah.
what's next? Like, I mean, what are you thinking about now? I mean, you must have lots of people coming to you about lots of things. You said you were here for a Pride event. Was that
Yeah.
someone from here reached out to you? and said, come down?
Yeah.
That's
One
cool.
of like the drag queens asked me to come, and there's lots of little things like that happening, which I
which
love.
drag queen?
What is a drag?
No, which drag
Oh,
queen?
Trinity. I'm like,
No, we had drag queens on this show already.
Okay, good. Her name's Trinity Fox.
Okay, I haven't heard that.
She's like a really popular, I guess, Halifax drag queen. And then they had someone, Candy Ho. She's from RuPaul.
Candy Ho is her name?
Yeah. With a K.
They always have pretty. I mean, well, we had Devastation on here. Devastation. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she was from RuPaul's Drag Race. So that was the big event. And then I was asked to come co-host.
Okay. Cool.
So I want to keep doing stuff like that brings me joy too. I got asked to do like another show. I turned it down for now. Like there's certain things I want to say yes to and certain things I'm going to say no to.
That's fair.
And just hope that, my path is going in the right direction. I really don't know what's next. I have a few things I'm working on, but like I said to you guys, I might get into podcasting. There's a lot of things that I want to do. I just have to figure out what the right thing is.
I say just do them all and then see what
sticks.
Let's just throw the spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks.
Exactly.
Why not?
Yeah.
There you go. We can produce the podcast.
Sure.
We made that offer to the CFL guy here too.
Oh, yes.
Because he wants to do a podcast with his brother because they're twin brothers who got drafted in the both in the top 10 in the CFL.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And they want to do like a
Yes.
podcast together. And I was like, well, we can produce that.
There you
that
go.
can be produced by Afternoon Pint. That can be our thing.
Why not?
Yeah, why
AP
not?
Sports. There you go.
AP Sports or AP...
Afternoon Pint, evening
AP
cocktail.
is also Associated Press, so that's going to get complicated.
Yeah, that's going to
at
get
some
complicated
point
when we move to the U.S.
as we
or something
keep
like that.
expanding. But for now,
No,
it'll
this
work.
is great.
Yeah.
I love this.
Awesome. Well,
What do you got?
I think we should probably wrap up the show.
What do we got?
We could go on a little longer.
I don't care.
I'm either
You
way.
got any more questions for me?
Not really.
I mean, you didn't watch it, right? You only
No.
watched the beginning and the end.
I watched one season of Big Brother
That's
once.
what I did to Lost. I just
Yeah?
watched the beginning and the end. First episode and last episode.
Saved a lot of meandering.
Yeah, exactly. Whole bunch of like psych.
That's fun.
Lost was
yeah.
a good show.
So yeah. I mean, I honestly, what we were saying, keep doing everything, honestly, and I think it's cool. I mean, I love the fact that like more and more people from our little corner of the
Yes,
Yeah,
they're
cheers to
getting
that.
on. Like we don't have a lot of representation out there, and there's so many people. There's so many talented people here that they got to chase their dreams. Just because you're in Halifax, you can still do it.
Exactly. And when you were saying like about hosting things and hosting events and stuff like that, like I think that's a pretty cool idea. I know we would like to do stuff like that. It's like kind of take our spin on things. If we want to host events, it's like we would love to. We already did one live event where we interviewed Ben, and we also interviewed Steve Adams. Actually, and it was at like an Ideal Home show, and we did our little spin where we interviewed and put on a live event while we were drinking.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that'd be kind of cool.
Well,
for us
now
to
that
do,
people
right?
kind of know who you are, then they'll be more inclined to come see you host an event, right?
That's it. Come watch us drink with somebody else.
You'd be surprised how many people would want to do that. I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man, it's really nice meeting you.
Oh, it's really it's great being here, guys.
One more cheers.
We'll do one more cheers.
Surprised our beers lasted this long.
And you're welcome to come back on the show anytime.
Anytime.
Let us know if you got
Thank you.
another project on the go.
I
or you
will.
want to speak.
I will.
Love to chat with you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.